So today's class is marketing with Command. We are going to be going over the campaigns section in Command. So to get started, I am at the Command sign-in page. I'm at agent.kw.com, and I'm going to sign in with my KW username and password. I'll give you a moment to do the same as well. And I do want to note for Command, we recommend using either Firefox or Google Chrome. We've seen that those browsers tend to work best with Command. So right now I am in Firefox. And once we sign in, that's going to bring us to our Command dashboard. Now, before we go into the campaign section and start working on some marketing, we are going to go into our settings to review a few items. So from my Command screen, I'm going to go up to the top right. We'll click on Scott's name and then Settings. This is going to bring us into our applications, and there are a few applications that I want to point out for today's class. So toward the top, we do have our connected apps. So these are apps we've already connected to Command. And some that you might want to consider for today are definitely, you can see we have Facebook for post scheduling and for ads. And yes, this is being recorded. This will be at slmtraining.com later today. So you can see we have Facebook connected a couple times here. Once for post scheduling, which we're going to go over today. You can actually schedule your social media posts. And then for Ads Manager. So if you're going to be running ad campaigns, paid ads through Facebook, you'll want to make sure that this is connected as well. So those are connected here. You may also want to make sure that Twitter is connected for post scheduling if you're hoping to schedule posts for Twitter. And for any one of these that you'd like to connect, all you have to do is click Connect Account on the far right. It'll bring up a sign-in page, and you just need to sign into your account, and that will be linked to Command right away. We also have Twitter for Ads Manager and Google AdWords. And then down at the very bottom, we have an email services section. Now, previously, to send out email campaigns, we only had the option to send via MailChimp. Thankfully, they've now expanded that and included the Command email. So you can actually send email campaigns directly to your Command database rather than having to also move your contacts over to MailChimp. But regardless of whether you're using your MailChimp list or Command, you'll want to make sure that your Command email is set up. So I'm going to go over to the right and click Manage. This is essentially designating your reply to email. Now, whenever you send an email from Command, it's going to be sent from a generic KW email address. But if someone replies, this is where you're going to select where that response will go to. So you'll want to make sure that you have your sender name and reply to email here correctly. If I click on this dropdown, I can choose any one of these options for my reply to email, or I can also add a custom email here. But you'll want to make sure that that is your preferred business email. Somebody asked if you can do both. You can. If you have different databases in different locations, you would have to send that email campaign twice. You can't send it to both at the same time. You would have to duplicate it and send it again, but you can choose which one you'd like to use. You can also monitor your monthly account usage here. You get 5,000 free emails per month. That is for smart plans and campaigns, email campaigns. If you find you're sending more than 5,000 emails a month, you can manage your subscription and upgrade that here. All right. We're also going to go over into our marketing profile. So those are the main applications that you'll want to make sure are connected for today. So Facebook for post scheduling. We're not going to touch on Facebook ads today. We actually have a separate class for Facebook ads 101. But you'll want to make sure that your post scheduling is set up. and then your command email. But let's go over to the left and click on Connect Settings, and then Marketing Profile. Somebody said they were having issues saving the command email. I know it looks kind of funny. Previously, it was doing a thing where you'd click save, but the button would be grayed out. I believe if you still click on that, it may look like it didn't save. Click that save button and then exit out of that window. And then once you open it back up, it should have the updated email. If not, try going in through Firefox and trying it that way. And if that still doesn't work, let us know and we can try and troubleshoot. This is our marketing profile. You will want to make sure that all of your information is up to date on this page before you create any marketing. Up at the top right, you'll see this toggle that says use my information to brand my agent site. You'll want to make sure that this is turned on or else your KW site will look like a generic site. We have some spots here for your headshot and your team logo. So this is going to pull over onto our email campaigns that we create today. Your personal details, anything with that red star is required, and you can update this at any time. There's a market center and brokerage section where we need your office information and office logo. If you're from an office or a state that requires compliance documents or links, you can add those in here. And then down at the bottom, some spots to add in your social media links. And then tracking for Facebook Pixel and Google Analytics. So the main thing for this, for today's class, you want to make sure that your contact information is up to date. And if you have your logos or your headshot, definitely add those in as well. But I'm going to click save and that will update right away for me. Couple great questions for the profile. Can we use a different first name than the legal name? You'll want to check with your board on this, but I believe you have to use the name that is registered with your board. So your legal name. I think if you want to use a nickname, you have to register it with your board. And then somebody asked for Facebook, do you need a separate business page to account to connect and run ads? Yes, that's correct. So when you're connecting your Facebook over here in the settings, you're going to sign in and connect your personal account, but you're actually running the ads and posting the social media posts for your business page. So you have to have a business page associated with your Facebook account to utilize these. And that's what we recommend anyway. If you are using Facebook for business, you're not going to want to do it from your personal page. You will want to create a business page for that instead. And then one last question before we keep moving on. Somebody asked about their headshot and looking kind of funny and stretched right here. So for the photo, the headshot, and the team logo, these need to be a perfect square. If they are not, they will look sort of warped. If you scroll down the Market Center logo, this actually works better if it's a rectangle. So that's why ours looks a little stretched. It actually looks better on the website if it's not a perfect square, but these two need to be cropped to a perfect square. If you have trouble with that, go ahead and send us your headshot and we can help fix that up for you. And then one last question about the name. Does the system let you change your name if it's okay with the board? Yeah, you can update your name right here, and then that'll reflect on your marketing materials. So in the marketing profile, there's actually a few places where you'll want to update your name. You'll want to update it here on your website, in MyKW. Your office will need to update it in Winmore. Depending on where you want to use it. If you want it everywhere, or if you just want it on your website and marketing, you can put it here in the marketing profile. But if you have further questions on that or need help updating your name, shoot us an email. I'm going to drop our email in the chat for you guys as well. So if I don't get to your questions today, please shoot us an email after class and I'd be happy to help answer those later. So you'll definitely want to go and check out your applications within command settings and your marketing profile before you go in and create any marketing. So let's go ahead and jump over into our campaign section today. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the icon that looks like a megaphone. This is going to bring us into campaigns. Now for today's class, we are going to be utilizing some designs. I do teach a separate class on Designs 101. That will be in 2 Fridays from now. It's usually the second Friday of the month. So we are going to be working for our post scheduling with a piece that we created previously, and we'll go through that and I'll show you that. But we're not going to go into designs today. We're going to use something we've already created. And we're also not going to go over paid ads today. We're going to focus on email campaigns, direct mail, and social posts. Just because we do have classes specifically on Designs 101 and Facebook Ads 101. So if you are interested in those subjects, definitely check out our website, slmtraining.com. We have Facebook Ads 101 and Designs 101, and those go more in depth on those single subjects. So for today's class, we are in this campaign section. So again, I clicked on the megaphone and that brings us into campaigns. In Command, we have 2 different types of campaigns. We have paid and we have free. So the paid campaigns are going to be those advertising campaigns. So Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Twitter, Google AdWords. You can run ads on those. And then also direct mail postcards. You can create postcards in Command and send them out to either your database or a farming area. You can actually select where you want those postcards sent based on an address. We'll be going over that today. The free campaigns would be email campaigns. Those are different than the smart plans. The email campaigns are more of an email blast. And then social posts. So social posts are going to be similar to Hootsuite if you've ever utilized that program before. So right now we are on the dashboard of our campaign section. Before we actually go in and create anything, if you are going to be sending out direct mail or running paid ads, you will want to check out this payment section here. You can actually add in a credit card and you can see information about what you've spent on these items down below. We're going to start today with social posts. So we're going to go up to the top left, or yeah, top middle of the page. Let's click on social posts at the top. All right, this is our social post dashboard. So we're going to go in and actually create a piece, but down below you would be able to see a calendar of our posts that we have scheduled for the week. So we're going to work on adding some posts down here. To create a new post or any sort of new item in campaigns, we're going to go up to the top right. I know my left, I'm struggling with my left from right today. We're going to go to the top right and click create a new campaign. Click on this teal button up here. And we're going to start with social post. So we're going to click on social post and that'll bring us in. So what we're going to do, and most of these will follow the same steps. We're going to go through these questions and items over here on the left to create our post over here on the right. Now our Facebook is already connected. So we already set that up in settings, but we're going to go through and just start to put together our post. So I'm going to skip over the text first, and we're going to go down to this section where we can upload the media for this. So we're doing a social post. This is going to post on our business page, our Facebook business page. And I already have a design created in the design section. So what you can do, you can upload, we're going to create a post for a listing today. You can upload a photo from your computer. You can upload a video if you'd like. You can add a link. But I'm actually going to choose something from the design library because I already created a Facebook piece within Designs. So I'm going to click here and choose Browse Design Library. Now this is going to bring me into the design library where I can see all of the posts or pieces that I've created in the past. And I actually have my piece here for the listing that we're going to be marketing today. So I'm going to go ahead and select that here. Now again, today's class, we're not going into the design section. Previously, I had created a Facebook piece within Designs. So I chose my design from my design library. And I'm going to go ahead and crop this so it's a rectangle. It starts with a square, but we're posting on Facebook, so I can go ahead and choose wide, and that fits perfectly. I can also choose to free crop this if that's better, but I'm going to go ahead and click crop image, and that's going to plug that into my post. So again, this is a post that I created in the design section under social. Really easy. I created a Facebook piece, but you can also upload just photos of your listing if you'd like, and then build the post around that. So I've created or added in the images or the image for my post. I'm going to go back up to text. Now we are marketing a listing here. So I'm going to add in my text. We have 2,200 characters. Since this is a Facebook post, we do have more wiggle room with how many characters and how long this description or the text can be. So I'm marketing this listing. I'm going to say something like just listed in Spring Hill. And you can see it's adding in my text over here on the right, and I can see a preview of that post. So under that, I'm going to go ahead and paste my property description since I do have 2,200 characters. And then I'd probably put something like contact today for more information. All right, and we're chugging right along and creating our post. Now, if we keep scrolling down, there is this DBA logo section. For the post, this is not required. On the social ads, this is required. So you can see what this is referring to is this little gray logo right here. This is pulling from the Market Center logo section within my marketing profile. But you can see I already have a logo on the actual piece that I created. And this kind of just popped this logo on top of my piece. So I can choose to reposition this if I'd like. You can see when I click right, it kind of moves over here. But since I already have a logo on here, I'm just going to go ahead and remove this. This is not required. It's optional. So I'm going to click this X button, and that'll remove that logo from the piece. I know it's really small, but it's basically just adding in the logo from my marketing profile onto my Facebook post. This is a great question. When creating a campaign, can you pull from your designs in Command, or do you have to download it from designs and upload it? So kind of both. So what I did was up here, I did choose from designs, and then that actually allowed me, I know I clicked that really quickly. Let me go back. I clicked the plus sign, if this isn't here, let me just exit out. There we go. I clicked Browse Design Library. I have Choose from Designs here. When I click that, this brings up my designs, but it only brings up the social posts that I created. So social pieces. That's not to say you can't use other pieces from designs in your campaign. So if you created a social post specifically in designs, you can choose those from the design library here. So I can go ahead and select my piece. But let's say you made a print flyer in designs, but you want to use that. That's totally fine as well. You can actually download the print flyer from designs. You can save it as a JPEG and then upload the image here. You can actually upload the image from your computer. So you have both options. So if you actually did create a social piece, you can select that directly. If you're using some sort of other design, you would just have to upload it from your computer, save it, and upload it. That's the great thing about the design section. It's pretty versatile. So you can use print pieces in your emails and your social posts and so on. So you can kind of mix and match. And someone's asking for our website again for where our recorded classes are. It's slmtraining.com. And then somebody asked, what's the difference between a Facebook ad and a social post? So the social post is just like you posting on your Facebook wall or posting on your page, and it's free. So this is free. We're just creating a Facebook post. A Facebook ad is a paid advertising campaign. And that is not necessarily posting on your Facebook page. It's going to be targeting a specific audience. So that'll only be seen to people who you are targeting for that ad, and you're paying for it. This is a free post on your Facebook page. So that's the main difference. And somebody asked, should I have watched the designs class? Not necessarily. That's just this one little part. They asked if they should watch it before this class. You definitely do want to watch it, but you don't necessarily have to. I just pulled over a design from my design library. If I wanted to, I could also just upload photos from my computer. So I do have listing photos added in here. So you can choose to create this Facebook piece, or let's see. You can also upload photos from your computer. So let's see, I can go ahead and utilize this as well. So I just chose an image off my computer. This is another image of the house. So I can add in up to 4 images here. All right, under DBA logo position, there is an option to add in your ownership statement. We have each office is independently owned and operated. We actually already have that. It's over here on the piece itself. So I'm just going to go ahead and ignore that. All right, lastly, we have when would you like to post? We can either schedule this ahead of time or publish immediately. It says the best days to post are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. So I'm going to do what it says. I'm going to click here, click on the drop down and choose Friday. And I'll go ahead and change this to 10:30 a.m. Now there's no save button on this, but when you actually just click away from this little pop-up, it updates. So I chose March 26th at 10:30 a.m. And then it's asking me to select pages. So I've already connected my Facebook account. You can choose to connect a new account here, but we already set that up in our settings, and this is good to go. So really simple, I'm just creating a Facebook post. This will post on my Facebook page. I can see a preview of what that looks like here. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule this. Going to click Schedule Post. And this is interesting. Now it's saying DBA logo required, probably because I added in an additional image. So I'm going to just remove that. And see if that is so interesting. It actually, I don't know if this is a glitch. There we go. All right. So if you upload an image from your computer, it makes you add in the DBA logo. If you're choosing from designs, it says optional. So I'm just going to go ahead and schedule this. So for these posts, this is only for your business page. You can't post to your personal page from command. You have to you're connecting your personal account in the settings, but you're actually posting and running ads for your business pages. All right, so we scheduled our social posts. It says this is basically our upcoming week. This is our post here that we have scheduled. This will go out tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. And once this does go out, we'd be able to see how many likes, how many comments, and how many shares it received. Now there are also these options for quick posts. You can see these over on the right. You can actually shuffle to see more, but these are basically just posts that are already created that you have the ability to use. So let's say I like this one that says bad joke alert. I'm going to go ahead and click on this arrow here. And it's going to bring up a pop-up. And this is basically just that same form that we just saw when we were creating the other post. I can choose to edit the text here. I can edit the photos, upload additional photos, change it. But I like this post, so I'm just going to go ahead and schedule this for Monday morning. So same sort of thing. I'm going to click schedule. It'll give me a preview. And now that'll appear on my calendar as well. So I can see a preview of what these are going to be. I don't actually want this to go out, so I'm going to go ahead and click on this ... I can edit this post further if I need to before it goes out. I'm going to go ahead and delete because I don't want these to post. And you can scroll ahead as well to schedule in the future. But we like to say set it and forget it. It's a good idea to go ahead and schedule your posts on, let's say, a Sunday, and then you can have your posts scheduled for the entire week, and those will run automatically for you. Somebody had the question about relevant hashtags. I don't know the websites off the top of my head, but you can Google it. There are websites where you can actually see exactly what you're looking for, the most popular or relevant hashtags to use on your post. But that's a great question. So that's a little bit about post scheduling. You can go ahead and set it and forget it, create all your social media posts for the week, and they will run automatically for you. Again, that is going to be different than paid ads. Paid ads are going to be Facebook advertising campaigns. And for that, definitely check out our Facebook ads class, Facebook Ads 101. All right, now we're going to check out email campaigns. So I'm going to click on emails. These are different than the smart plans. It says email, they're called email campaigns, but it's more of an email blast. You do set them up individually. It's not like a campaign where it runs one after the other unless you manually set up multiple emails and schedule them in that way. So if you scroll down, you can see we have quite a few emails in draft status. But once these go out, I would be able to see how many views, opens, views, clicks, and bounces it received. I can see the status. Before we actually send out our emails, we do want to make sure that we have our email list good to go. So right now I clicked on emails. I'm on the email campaigns dashboard. I'm going to go over to the far right and click configure lists. Now this is where we're going to set up our command mail email lists. If you are wanting to utilize MailChimp, your MailChimp lists, that will have to be set up over on MailChimp's website. So right now we're just managing our command email lists. So I prefer it this way rather than using MailChimp, because with MailChimp, you have to pull your contacts over there as well. If you're utilizing command mail, you can send your campaign to people who are already in the contact section. So I already have a couple email lists set up here. Let's go ahead and just set up a new one. If I wanted to, I can edit these. I can click on the pencil to edit my email list or delete the email list by clicking the trash can button. I'm going to go ahead and click Create List up at the top right. Ooh, and I lost my window. Okay, so I'm going to add in my list name. And then select contacts. So I can go through and select people individually. I can search here by either name, email, or neighborhood. Or most likely you'll be searching by tag. So let's say I want all of my contacts that have the SLM tag. So I'm going to go into tags. And for this, unfortunately, you do have to scroll. So if you have a lot of tags, you just have to scroll through them. Unfortunately, there's not a search feature here just yet. So I'm just going to keep on scrolling and find my SLM tag. Here we go. And that's going to filter my contacts and only show me those people with that SLM tag. So I'll just call this SLM email list. So I can go through, select all the contacts I need for this email list. I have the boxes checked next to their names, and I'm going to click confirm. And there we go. I have my email list with 4 people on it. Again, if I want to edit this, I can click on the pencil button and it will allow me to add or remove contacts. Now let's go in and actually create an email campaign piece. So I'm going to, again, click Create New Campaign at the top right. And this time we're going to choose email. I'm going to be marketing a listing for my email today. So I'm going to call this Bellagio Villas Just Listed. My goal is to advertise a listing. You can choose any one of these options here. And then it asks, where will your campaign run? This is basically asking what email list you're going to send this email blast to, your command contacts or your MailChimp contacts. So I'm going to go ahead and select command email and then set up campaign. And it's that same sort of process. We're going to go through these items over here on the left to build our email over here on the right. So step 1 is already completed for us. We have our campaign name, how we're sending it, and then our campaign goal. Step 2 is already selected as well. This is our command email, scott@scottloraymarketing.com. And then step 3, who are we sending this to? I can go ahead and click on these options here to select one of my email lists I've already created. If I forgot that step, I can click here to create a new list as well. And if I need to edit those lists, clicking this will bring me back into that previous page we were on where we were creating the email list. So I already have my email list created. We just did that, so I'm selecting that here from the drop-down menu. Step 4, since we chose command email, this is who our sender name is and the reply to email. If this is incorrect or you want to change it, you can click edit and that's going to bring you back into the settings. Subject, I'm going to say just listed in Spring Hill. You get 80 characters here. I would say keep it shorter so it doesn't look too spammy. And now we're going to create our email campaign piece. So I'm going to click here, select design content for your email. Now we're actually going to go in and create an email campaign together today. These are showing me my email campaign templates that I've created before. Right now we're in my templates, but we can also go in and create something new. So I'm going to click KWRI templates. And we have lots of stuff in here. They actually more recently released some newsletter templates, which is great. And you can scroll through. There are some fun ones like low budget projects. There are some holiday pieces in here. I think there was like a happy spring one coming up. Yep, happy spring, happy holidays, event invitations. So lots of great stuff. We're gonna do just like a just listed. So let me see if there's one toward the top that's easier to find. Ooh, tax day. Ooh. And there are some luxury pieces in here. I'm scrolling down. Actually, I'll just go back to where I was to approachable. So I'm going to do approachable and just listed. And all of these are going to follow the same sort of process, but I just scroll down a bit and I'm going to choose this approachable just listed. All right, so now we're going to work together to create our email campaign. I want to point out this funny looking text that has the asterisks around it and these bars. You'll see that at the top and then down at the bottom as well. So this is going to auto-populate from our marketing profile. That's why we wanted to make sure that our information was updated in the marketing profile ahead of time, because this is all going to auto-populate for us. So let's just start toward the top and start creating our piece. I'm going to start by switching out this photo. I'm going to click on the image that I'd like to change. If I wanted to delete it, I could click the trash can button. I'm going to click on the pencil. And we're going to edit our image over here on the right. So I want to replace this. I need to add in my photo. I'm going to click replace. So here we actually have a library of pieces or images we've uploaded to other email blasts. So I can choose one of the images here. I can add images. If I want to upload a photo from my computer, I can actually browse my computer and add a photo here. I'm going to do both today. You can also click on listing images. So this is linked to the KWLS, making it really easy to create this piece. I'm going to search by my property address and find my listing. I found it here. I'm going to go ahead and select this, and then this is going to bring up all of my listing photos. Going to select the photo that I'd like and then replace. And this is added in here, but we're not quite done yet. If you'd like, you can hyperlink this image if you wanted this to be clickable and link to either a landing page or a web address. You can change the width and the height. You have to add it in here manually. You can add a border, change the position. This is good centered for me, but I'm just going to add in the photo. So I clicked replace, chose my photo, and I'm going to click done, and that'll plug that in right away. Now for the text, we do need to manually update this. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my text and then click the pencil button. So same sort of thing, we're just going to click on each individual part and start to edit this. So this is 112 Bellagio Villas Drive. All right, I added in my text. If I wanted to, I could change the font, change the sizing, and just edit this more. I'm going to go ahead and click done, and that'll plug that in right away. I want to change this price as well. So again, clicking on the text, clicking the pencil, and I'll just go ahead and manually update this. Clicking done, and we're slowly working our way through this. Clicking here, clicking the pencil. This is 4 bedrooms. So you can see it kind of moved that. Let's see if I can make it. I think there was a space after it. So you may have to play around with it. Sometimes if, for example, like the 4, maybe there was a space before it. It kind of, there we go. Well, there we go. It was aligned a little bit better, but I'm going to go ahead and click on this, the pencil, and change this to 4 baths. And then add in the square footage. There we go. We have some spots to add in additional photos, so I'm going to click on the image, click the pencil button, and then same thing, replace. And this time I'll upload a photo from my computer. So I'm going to click Add Images. I can click here to browse my computer and choose the file that I need. So I selected the photo, I'm going to click on that here and then click Replace. Once I click Done, it'll pop it into the email. So I'm going to do that again, just add in one more photo, pencil button, Replace, Add Images, and I'm just going to choose that photo from my computer. Same thing, selecting the photo, clicking Replace. There we go. We do need to add in some text. I also want to point out, you can also change and remove things. So I can remove text boxes that I don't need. I can add any of these options or content blocks from the right as well. So let's say I wanted to add in another photo. I can grab the bit of content that I'd like to add, and I can actually drag it over to the left. Now, wherever this green line appears, that's where the image is going to appear. So I'm holding down the button on my mouse as I'm dragging this over. The green line is where the photo will appear or whatever content block. Once I let go of the button on my mouse, it adds in the photo. So I'm just going to add in an example photo really quick. And there we go. Of course, if I click on this pencil button, I can choose to resize it. But you can completely customize this. Oh, and it did change the alignment. So I want to make sure that this is centered as well. So you can totally customize this, mess around with it, add in additional text, photos, and so on. I do want to add in my property description. Looks like this has it broken up into 2 sections, which I can choose to do or not, but I'll go ahead and add in my description. I may actually just remove these. Let's see if I can add in just one block of text. Oh, no. Okay. So the text, since this newsletter specifically, it's split into 2 sections right here. So we have 2 text blocks. So what I may want to do is add in some text here and then just add in my 1 bit of text. So I'm going to click that pencil button and go ahead and add in my property description. There we go. I can go ahead and remove these filler text. I don't need them. Oops, by clicking the trash can button, and those are gone. So you can see very quickly, very easily, I'm able to edit this piece. Now there is a button here that says view listing. I'm going to go ahead and click on the button because I want to make this clickable. So I'm going to click this pencil button and I need to choose where this is going to link to when somebody clicks on it. So the button says view listing. I can choose to change that if I'd like. I can say like click here, learn more. I'll change it to learn more. And then I need to select where this is going to link to. So I'm going to choose, you can choose a landing page from that you have already created if you'd like. I'm going to choose a web address and I'm going to link this to the agent's website where they have this listing posted. I can change the font, I can change the position of the button, I can change the color, I can make it square or rounded. But I'm just going to link this to the web address. I'm changing it to say learn more. And once I click done, this will update right away. And somebody asked, is this just going to people you choose to send it to, or will this go to your business Facebook? This is different. This is not a post. This is an email blast. This is an email campaign. So this is only going to the people in that email list that we created. So you can see this is pretty good. All of this is going to auto-populate for me. So I think my news or my just listed piece is good to go. Again, you can add in additional content blocks here. We're just going to work with what is already available. And I did add in an additional image and change the text. So up here at the top left, this is the piece title or the name of it. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete that. And I will call this Bellagio Villas email. And you can see once I clicked away from that, it did save right away. One thing that happened to me once in class is I didn't have an agent license number down here. And it was alerting me and it wouldn't let me save. So if you are getting any sort of error messages, it should tell you exactly what you need to update. All I did was when I needed that agent license number, I just opened a new tab and went back into command in my settings. And once I updated that, it did allow me to save. So over here on the left, I can see what this is going to look like on different devices. I can see a preview of this by clicking the I button. That's what our email will look like. You can see it did plug in our information from the marketing profile. And this looks good to go. So now we have a few options. We can save or save and exit. This should be this already saved for me, but it doesn't hurt to click that save button as you're working, just so you don't lose your work. From options, we can preview this again. We can send a test email, or we can download the template. I definitely recommend sending a test email just to verify what this is going to look like exactly when you send it out. So definitely send yourself a test email. I also recommend adding yourself to the email list so you see this and get it at the same time that your other recipients do. I'm going to go ahead and click save and exit. And now you can see our email is over here on the right. Again, I definitely recommend sending a test email. You can add in the email here, change the subject line if you'd like. So I could say like test and send it to myself. Just so you can see exactly what that's going to look like. That'll send out right away for you. And I don't believe the test emails go into your total allotment of the 5,000 emails that you send out. I don't believe so. So this is good to go. Now I have the options to either send, and this will send right away to my email list, or I can schedule this ahead of time. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule this email. I want this to send out tomorrow at 10 a.m. So I click the date, change the time, and I'm going to click apply date and time. There we go. Click schedule, and that's going to bring me back into my email campaigns. And you can see this is the email we just created. It is scheduled. Once this goes out, I will be able to see the metrics here. If this has not gone out yet, we can edit this campaign. We can go ahead and make further changes. I can also duplicate this if I'd like, or cancel it. So I don't want this to go out. I'm going to go ahead and click cancel. And there we go. Somebody asked how these are different than the Smart Plan emails. The Smart Plan emails are more, I would say, closer to a campaign structure. And the campaign, they just have different content, different templates. This is more of an email blast. And for these, you can utilize those KWRI templates, the email campaign templates. You can't use those in your Smart Plans. So that's a little bit about the email campaigns. We do want to touch on direct mail before we wrap up today. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the top and click on direct mail. So through command, you can also create postcards. There are a couple different options when creating postcards. You can go into designs and actually utilize the templates. There are postcard design templates in this section. And there are also a couple templates just within the direct mail campaign section. So right now I'm looking at my campaigns. You can see my postcards. We have a few in draft status. Let's go ahead and create a new campaign or a new postcard by clicking create a new campaign. And this time we're going to choose direct mail. Under campaign name, I'm going to choose, just add in the listing address again. I'm going to advertise a listing. That's my goal. And then we have two options here. We can use the default templates. That's what we're going to do today. Or you can upload a custom template. You can actually upload the postcard designs from the design section. The default templates, there's only I think 2 or 3 or 4. There are more options within the design section, and they're more customizable there. So if you create a postcard in designs, you can upload it here. But for today's class, we're just going to choose the default. So advertise listing, default, and I'm going to set up campaign. We are advertising a listing, so it does bring up my KWLS search. Again, making it super easy to create a marketing piece for my listing. So I'm going to search for the listing we're working on. Right now, it says only my listings. I'm going to change that to all listings. And you can see it comes up right away. So I'm going to select this. And again, same sort of thing. We're going to answer these items over here on the left and create our postcard on the right. Now for the postcard template, we have a few different options. We can choose a 4x6, a 6x9, modern 6x11, or contemporary 6x11. I'm just going to choose this first option. And after we go through and answer all of these options here, I'll show you a preview of what the postcard will look like. So the name and goal is complete. We have that green check mark. The listing details, it did plug in the details from KWLS. So you'll just want to spot check and make sure this is correct. It doesn't pull over the bedrooms and baths. So I'm going to add that in. So 4 bedroom, 4 bath. You can add in a listing status. So I'm going to say just listed. And then a property description. You get 575 characters here. Thankfully, we have a short property description, so this fits perfectly. And it did pull this over from KWLS. So that's complete. We just need to click save. Listing photo, let's go ahead and click on this. It does bring up the KWLS photos. If these photos are not high res enough, it will let you know and it'll prompt you to upload a different photo. So let's see if these work. I'm gonna choose the photo I'd like. And there we go. I selected the photo of the front of the house. If you want, you can also upload different photos here. So that looks good. I chose my photo. I'm going to click Save. Let's click on Agent. This is pulling from our marketing profile, so you just want to make sure that this is correct. You can upload a different photo if you'd like. All my info is good. I'm going to click Save. You can see we're moving right along and completing all of these options. So then we need to click on Market Center. Again, pulling from the Market Center or from the marketing profile. And let me go ahead and find that zip code because I don't know it. Perfect. Make sure that this is complete. Your office logo is there, and then click Verify Address. Confirm that the address is correct, and there we go. Now we need to set up our budget. And we're in the next step, we're going to choose who we're sending this to. But right now you're going to choose how many people. So I'm going to do like a farming postcard. I'm not going to send this to my contacts. So I'm going to say I want to send this to 200 homes and I want to send it first class. I believe with the other postcards, you do have different options for the postage. For this 4x6, this is my only option. So for 200 postcards at first class, my budget or my price is about $118. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save. Now we need to review these items over here on the right. So I chose the 4x6 template. Let's go ahead and preview and see what this is going to look like. So you can see it added in my photo. If you don't like how that's cropped, you may want to add in a different photo. There's the listing information. This is the front, and I can see a preview on the back. So you probably want to rework this logo because this one actually needs to be a square. So I'd probably go in and just add in a square KW, but this looks good. And if you want, you can review and see what these different postcards will look like as well. I'm just choosing this first one 4x6. You also can add in a QR code. If you add in a QR code to the postcard, so by clicking this, it'll actually direct someone to a landing page. You can direct them to a landing page that you've already created. So this is a different listing, but I'm going to choose this. So before you set this up, if you want to add in a QR code, I would recommend going into the consumer section and adding in a single property landing page. So I already created a landing page. It's actually for a different listing, but let's say this was the same. I can select that here. If you don't have this set up or you don't want to track it that way, you can go ahead and turn this off. But that's an option. So that's another great way to capture leads. Somebody gets the postcard, they scan the QR code, they go to your landing page, they can learn more about the listing and then get in contact with you. So this looks good. I'm going to go ahead and move on to step 2, configure targeting. It says, are you sure you want to create this campaign? I'm going to click yes. Now, when you create the postcard, you have 2 options. You can send this to your contacts, your people in your database. They do have to have a mailing address set up. Or you can do it this way in terms of farming. So it does plug in the listing address. And I'm choosing to send this to 200 homes around this area. Now you're going to want to target or a reason to target the neighborhood that the listing is in. Usually people in this neighborhood, they want their friends or family to move to the area. So if they see that a listing is available in their neighborhood, they may know somebody who wants to move there. They also may see that, hey, this home is selling for this much. Maybe I should get in touch with this realtor and see what my home is worth. So that's why I'm choosing to target around the neighborhood that the listing is actually in. So I have 200 in my budget, and you can see it just selected 200 addresses around that home. And you can further select if you'd like. You can filter this further here. If you'd like, you can send a copy to your company address. Send one to yourself. This looks good to me. I'm going to click next. And here we go. This is the summary of the order, $118.59. And then we will add in our email and payment information. And you can see a preview of the postcard up here at the top, and that looks pretty good. I do want to say, once you hit make a payment, you are locked in. So speak now or forever hold your peace. Once you hit make a payment, you can't cancel this order or make any changes. So please make sure once you have this, confirm that everything is correct and good to go. You're sending it to the right people. The info on the postcard is right, because once you submit this order, there's no going back. So keep that in mind. But once I fill that out, hit make a payment, these will send within 4 to 6 business days to the contacts that I selected. So that is actually about it for today's class. I'm going to go ahead and just go back to the campaign section here. Once that sends out, I would be able to see when it was sent. If I received any leads from this, from people who scan that QR code, I would be able to see that information here. But I know we went over a ton of stuff in today's class, so I apologize if I wasn't able to get to all of your questions. I'm putting our email in the chat right now, support@scottleroymarketing.com. So if you have further questions, please shoot us an email and we'd be happy to answer. And then I did record this class, so this is going to be at slmtraining.com. I'll have this up online later today. Somebody asked real quick, she's working on postcards with agents and she chooses brand awareness, yet it still requires you to put in listing information. That is a great question. Let me just go ahead and test that. So I would assume that you're probably, if you're not focusing on a listing, you're probably uploading a custom template. So I'll just choose that. Let's see what happens when I choose brand awareness. Because if you are using a default template, that is for a listing. So it will make you choose a listing. Let's see what happens when I choose a custom. There we go. Yeah. So, well, I don't have anything uploaded. So I'm not quite sure if the next step, it would require you to choose a listing, but I would assume not. So if you are choosing brand awareness, it wouldn't make sense for you to choose the default templates because those default templates are for listings. Another thing you could try doing is just choosing other. So these are really just for your reference. The client doesn't see why you're sending this. So if that's not working, try choosing other. And I believe it should let you go all the way through. If it persists, let us know and we can, of course, take a closer look. But thank you guys again for watching our class. If you have further questions, please reach out. If not, I hope you have a great rest of your day, rest of your week, and we'll talk to you soon.